Hello everyone, this is Ben from GP Adventures and the Hobby Shop Dungeon. Christopher Bishop on the group was raising a very interesting point that the project for the Marmoral Tomb came off as a very personal thing for Ernie Gygax and myself. And he was asking how emotionally we were involved in the project, that is how we are feeling personally about it. And I think there's a lot of emotion and a lot of personal things that went into the creation of the module and the setting. For me, I mean, Ernie obviously would be the best to answer from his side of things. I think for him there's a lot having to do with working at the Dungeon Hobby Shop and what it meant in the context of TSR and all the history that is his life, his early life at that point. But he's the best to answer that question. For myself, well, when I draw maps, for instance, I use skills that were taught to me by my mother. Okay, all my artistic skills come from my mom. So each time I sharpen a pencil, I'm using a knife that was a gift from my dad, right? And so everything that goes into the craft for me is very personal, right? About the world itself, there are lots of personal things that go into the creation of the setting, whether that's humorous or more family-based, or the point really of all this is to be played by other people, right? You want to create a compelling setting, so none of these things are really there to stop people from playing their own way. That's very important to understand. However, the emotion that you pour into creating a thing, the personality you pour into it, comes through, and your passion communicates to the person who are going to use your game material. That's important. So you will find a lot of nods to people we know. Like, for instance, in the setting, not on the map of the Marmoral Tomb, but another area beside it. There's a town called Schloss. Schloss in German, that's the fortress, that's the fort. And Wam is for Tom Wam. And the story of this fortress, for instance, is that it's a fortress that is constantly losing when it is under siege, and so it changes hands between different barons all the time, and that's a kind of joke about Tom Wam playing war games. That's just an example here. You might see on Facebook right now my profile picture is a heron holding a snake in its beak. And that's a personal nod to me with the Viscountcy of Poiré about the Lac de Béron, which was an area near the village where I grew up. And herons were birds that my mom loved, and so that's another to her here. Lots of things like this. Nestor is obviously Ernest, right? That's an anagram. And lots of little nods like this in the world. And so I think that's really about this, that like you make things personal and you have fun creating the world, your own fun, so that you can bring the passion into it, so that then it communicates. I think that's something that Gary Gygax did really well with Greyhawk. And that's how you get all these characters that are, images of people in you, and so on and so forth. And I think that's something that from not to copy, but get inspired from, because I think there's something very unique and personal that comes out from that. When there's a writing advice that always says, write about what you know, and I think that's very true. Write about things you know, people you know, feelings you've experienced, things like that. And game writing from that standpoint is no different. That you take, examples and things and people and it doesn't have to be especially emo or deep, or it can be very humorous, funny, and so on, right? But the more personal you make it, all the time keeping in mind that you're going to make something that has to be usable by another person who doesn't know any of these things, then your passion will communicate anyway, and you're going to create something unique that will be recognized by people who don't know any of the references you put into it. And yeah, so that's from that standpoint, the Hobby Shop Dungeon and the Marble Tomb are really, really works of craft. And I think that answers the question. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Christopher, for bringing up the point. And yeah, so talk to you later, guys. Bye bye.